All right. Good morning. This is an authentic conversation, and I am Sonny Hamilton. I'm here with my co hosts,
Darren Hamilton.
And John Walser.
and we have a guest today. And
Marjorie Rohde.
so she will be just on speaker. And but we want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching our podcast, and hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's a lot of news has been going on over the past, 2 weeks?
2 weeks, week and a half.
Yeah, something like that. So a lot of stuff is going on. So we're going to go over a lot of stuff today. But anything else you guys want to add before we get going?
No, just Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yep. Happy New Year and happy to have
Happy to
Marge.
have
I don't remember
Marge.
if you
Yeah.
introduced yourself as
She
Marjorie or
did.
Marge or how you did it, but we've known her. She's a lifelong friend.
Marjorie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up together, so
Yeah. So anyway, she grew up in the same faith as us. So we've known her, everybody, but John and I have known her forever. So
Yeah, for a long time.
And I
Anyway,
met her
fun
a
to
year
have her.
ago.
Yep.
she came with John and we've just kind of thrown a mic in front of her face. So
So, so today is January 2nd,
yeah, I
Friday.
think so. Yep.
Yeah, it's Friday, January 2nd.
Yep.
And one of the things that we found is that on the news is that CNN actually admitted that the economy is thriving under Trump.
It's good to
Oh.
finally be able to be honest.
Yeah, not everybody on CNN, but
No.
there's some, right? So,
that had to taste like vinegar coming out of their mouth.
I'm sure it did. And on News Nation, which is Chris Como, so you remember he got kicked off
Right.
mainstream media for kind of defending Trump. So anyway, he and his co-host had Democrats calling in, lifetime Democrats who called in, and I was amazed that Chris Como is the one who was hosting this and talking to these people because they're waking up, and these are lifetime Democrats who are waking up and saying they're ashamed of
Mhm.
what they voted for in the past.
It's one of the disturbing things I see with politics is where the opposing side can't ever give credit where credit is due. And
Yeah.
it would be really good if we could get to a place in life where we could admit we're wrong and where the other side is right, and actually just grow as a group and grow as a
Mhm.
country and grow as everybody.
Spend more time bringing each other together than stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be much healthier.
Yep.
So this News Nation that we saw was on Christmas Day. Now they may have pre-recorded it, but I thought, what a nice Christmas gift.
Right.
So, in the same respect, over Christmas we went home to Arizona. Darren and I did to my home, and I have family members who live down there, and I lived there for 13 years. And so anyway, but it was so interesting as a couple of my family members have woken up, and not that they were Democrats or anything, but they were conservative, but they woke up and started asking for podcast information, for information to watch. And I was thrilled, but I can't go. It's one of the things you're not going to go and say, "Hey, I've known this all along." No, everybody wakes up at their own pace.
Mm-hmm.
So just congratulate them that they did when they did, and they're
Yep.
learning,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, it's easy when you've uh, taken more steps, I guess, than I mean, this life is all about taking steps and constantly it should be constant, never-ending improvement. And so it's not I hate to ever look at people as being less than or whatever because it's not a less than thing. It's just everybody grows at a different pace. And that doesn't matter if it's politically, spiritually, life, or what it is. And I think that's another one of the areas where I think everybody needs to just calm down about being self-righteous and recognizing everybody's just at a different place.
And that's where John and I have been on the same level politically, and we've kind of drug you along. So
Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever get drugged very far in the political thing, just because I see it from a different standpoint.
well,
And it's okay.
true,
It's
and we may never quite get to the point where you are spiritually, but we're trying. We're all just it's on a learning curve, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I used to be really political. I used to listen to Rush. I used to listen to a lot of podcasts, but then once once I started seeing the corruption and that kind of thing, then I kind of walked away from the politics
There's
and
corruption in religion too.
that's why I walked away from religion because the corruption is corruption, and it's interesting to start seeing the parallels between religion and politics. I don't see a whole lot of difference between them all.
So we'll put the links under our podcasts because, frankly, I just haven't quite figured out how to add them in here. So we'll put them in the link when we post them.
More of those steps that we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're taking steps, learning this podcast
Oh yes,
game.
yeah, we are. So anyway, it was really exciting to be able to discuss politics with my family, which I haven't been able to do very much because everybody's at a different place, and sometimes they need time to be able to process because it's overwhelming. And I get it because I've been overwhelmed, and I'm really active. I've been really active, and
Well, it's such a spider web. It's hard to just point at one thing
right,
and go, "This is the problem."
right.
It goes back to that picture that I posted on my Facebook. The root. It's just such a spider web. The corruption
It
just
is.
goes so deep, and I really don't think that we even realize just how deep it goes.
No, I guess
I
you're
think it goes back farther than like Trump and all them, way
Yeah.
back.
Absolutely, it goes clear back to prior to 1871.
right.
It goes back to
Right.
Saul.
And then
Well,
just
true.
Well,
yes.
Very
yeah,
true.
but
The first politician. It goes back to Saul, and that's why it just does. You can see all the same parallels.
Yeah.
Nothing new under the sun.
Yep.
So it's not just before Trump. It doesn't just go back to
So-
Obama. It doesn't go back.
It's not the top 20 presidents have done this. It's been
Oh,
way
yeah.
back.
Way back.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
in that YouTube video, the genealogy of the Constitution, she goes clear back to 1610
Wow.
and layers out all of the steps to where we are right now. And in every king, I mean, there were brothers that both wanted to be king. The one took the other one out hunting,
Mhm. Yeah.
and he never came back home. So
Hunting accident.
yes,
Yeah.
hunting accident. So it
Quote unquote.
So it goes way
It does.
way back.
Saul and David, the competing sides.
Yes.
There's always the competing sides.
But
Well,
it's weird
and
how they can blame from one president to another, the problems where
Yeah,
they hide, they try to hide. Now, I feel like Trump has went in the last, 7, 8 months,
11 months.
It's
11 months
11
and
months
cleaned
already.
up a lot.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why
Yeah.
can't the other presidents do that?
Because they were hiding their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're hiding it all, and they did not want Trump in there to expose it. And here he is exposing it now. So
Yeah.
you look at everybody how they freaked out with Doge. It's like, why do we freak out with Doge? Why are we okay? I mean, we all work our butts off.
Mm-hmm.
it was their
In-
cash cow.
Yeah, and why do most of those things that Doge was uncovering? Well, they're not my pet subjects, so don't use my money for your stupid pet, programs or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get too far off the rails here, but if you look at all the money that we have sent overseas to different countries throughout the years, 150 years or 100 years, we would be able to have the best health care for our people if we kept all that money within our own borders,
No kidding. Absolutely.
and our
you're
people
right.
would be a lot richer too.
And we wouldn't be so fat.
True.
And there wouldn't be so many homeless.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Very
We
true.
would take care of our veterans. The homeless people would be, we wouldn't have that problem.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
No, we could all be much more prosperous, and we could probably have 3-day work weeks and more time off and still accomplish the same. But we just worker bees and struggle to try to get ahead. And
It's
And
planned
that's
that way.
funny because, like, my dad, I remember growing up, that's all he did was work.
yeah,
He worked 6 days a week,
Yeah.
and Sunday was the Lord's Day, so he never worked. So if I wanted to see him or be with him, I had to be out on the job site with him,
Yeah.
working.
yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty good at cleaning up job sites, weren't you?
Oh, I was a champ.
I know
I
you
learned
were.
how to do a broom. I had lessons, trust me. Jack Robinson knew how to give me lessons.
He was high energy. He was
Oh,
a little
my
little
goodness.
guy, kind of like me, but he was high energy and work.
Oh
And
man, not very many people could keep up with him.
no,
So
I can.
yeah.
So the next,
What was that?
I don't know.
it was something on mine trying to get me to
The angels singing
update.
about
I
Jack.
hope So, what is going on? How come it's not?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Did we just lose everything?
I don't know. Did it? It may have.
You want me to push pause?
Wait, let me see. No, we're still recording.
Okay.
Sorry about that, people. We just had a blip. In
maybe
our-
we'll figure out how to edit that out. Another learning experience.
So the next thing was there's Democrat governors who are not honoring the no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, even though it's a federal law. It's in the big, beautiful bill. So
They can't fund all their stupid little programs if they don't have every dime of tax that they can get. And they do not want us. It's so much about control. That's why I hate it so bad. Because they want it all. They want it all. They can't keep us as worker bees. You get ahead.
And you can't just keep taxing the middle class people.
No, they talk about taxing the rich, but then the rich
They
just
never
move to
do.
some other state, some other country, or whatever. Here in
They're
Washington,
never going to get taxed. It's always
No.
going to be the middle class
Yep.
that
Yep.
pays for it.
Yep.
So
We're-
in reality, middle class is poor
Yeah, well,
because we're being
that's-
taxed. to
yeah,
death.
because they keep us poor. Keep us poor.
So one of the girls I work with, so we got $1,000 plus 20 hours on our checks to cover taxes. Bless her little heart. She works every hour she can for overtime. So she worked like 139 hours. She did not get the extra $1,000 because they took it out in taxes.
Yeah.
It was gone. She goes, I didn't get $1,000. I was
No,
like,
and
what?
bonus.
Like, it blew my mind. I was like, what? And she explained it to me, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of taxes out of one paycheck.
Yeah.
Bonuses are always
1,000.
taxed at a stupid amount at a lot higher tax rate. Bonuses are taxed
So that's why they
differently.
gave us the extra 20 hours
Yeah.
to cover. So we actually got the $1,000.
Wow.
So, anything else you want to add there?
Well, so that 20 hours, that's half a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But you think about
When you look at 40-hour weeks, that's
yeah.
a half a week.
Yeah.
but look at
just
all
taken.
the employees that they did that for.
That's just amazing.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you started 24 hours. You still got
Everybody
that.
got it. Wow.
Everybody got it.
Wow.
Wow.
that's
Good for
awesome.
that employer.
Yeah. That's good.
Cahoots to Schweitzer Engineering.
Schweitzer Engineering. They are a pretty decent employer, it sounds like.
Yes,
From
they
everything
are.
I've heard
they
from 'em.
actually care about their employees.
Yeah.
That's great.
When they can give us stuff, they do. Right now, we're like fighting the terrorist. Is that right?
Tariff.
Tariff. Sorry.
Oh.
Not terrorist. Tariff.
I
I was like,
don't
that
know,
doesn't
are we?
sound right.
Well,
So now
we
we're,
can-
that's actually biting into the budget,
Oh, dang.
but it's doing it to a lot of people too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and
it's
that
it's also helping at the same time.
It is. I was going to say that's just a negotiating tool to bring countries to the table to kind of do like what we're doing here, to have a conversation, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And
Right.
how can we, all countries, benefit without stabbing each other in the back?
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know?
unfortunate, but it's true. So the other thing that we found this past week was Georgia. It's just been in the news
News?
since 2020, because that's the one that they won the election for Biden. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So they're now forced to finally admit, the Georgia officials, that the statements that were made about them are true, are valid. That Fulton County admits that it certified 315,000 early votes without any poll watchers' signatures. And
Very nice.
this is where, remember, they blacked out all the windows
Mm-hmm.
and kicked out all the poll watchers. Well, that's illegal according to Georgia law. So that's not good.
You wouldn't need to black out windows if legal things were going on.
We all know
Right.
that, yeah.
if you're
So-
honest,
If you're honest, yeah.
Yeah.
So there again, that goes back to Throckmorton. Fraud vitiates all things.
Fraud what?
Fraud vitiates all contracts.
Oh.
And an election is a contract. It's a contract with the people. So if there was fraud, then there is no contract.
Unless you're above the law,
Well,
which politicians are above the law.
apparently so, even though they say that no one is above the law.
Say-
There again, I think they're talking about the people.
yeah, they're talking about us,
They're
little
talking
people.
about us, little people.
that's what cracks me up. The people want this. I never said I wanted it. Who's the people?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's not
so-
me. I'm over here. No.
Yeah, it wasn't me either. Yeah. And so that whole thing with Georgia, Americans were mocked. We were shamed for asking questions.
Yep.
How dare you ask questions,
Yep.
right? But
How dare you
Because-
second guess?
yeah.
Yep.
You know, you were making a comment. Actually, I think it might have been when we were just talking before we turned the mics on, but about thinking that politicians are going to start getting arrested. And I'm like, well, no, I don't agree. I made some obnoxious comment to John about that. But I guess that's why it's really hard for me to believe that these, even like that Georgia fraud stuff going on. It's really hard for me to believe that the people that need to be arrested are really going to
Well,
be arrested
So-
because it's all
I
just
don't know that they get
power.
arrested. What,
Well,
well,
so
if they're doing stuff that's fraudulent, why shouldn't they? We would get
well,
arrested
I
if we did
agree.
fraudulent
No,
stuff.
I agree, but that's. Go ahead, John.
so that's what they count on, is that perspective. Now, that's not a bash against you or you guys out there. They want us to work. I was telling this to Alan yesterday. They count on us, work, go home,
Don't ask questions.
don't ask questions. Oh, wait, I got to have a paycheck. Work. But I know I need to research. I know I need to know what's going on, but I'm too tired. This is the perspective that they want from us.
Right.
I'm too tired. I can't.
It's too much work.
It's too much
It's
work.
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Oh, I don't have any power anyway. Well, guess what? The power is in we the people.
It is. That's absolutely true.
But if everybody,
So
go ahead.
For perspective, it took 56 men to sign the Declaration of Independence to make a difference in the world. That changed the world.
It did.
They went up against, at that point in time, the British
British.
government was the largest government and had the largest military in the world. And it took 56 men to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
realize
and a bunch of
we wouldn't be here.
And a bunch of little people fighting.
Well, that's true. But
Yeah.
what I mean is that
But those are the ones
those
who set the law
56 men signed that document. That's all
to
it
start
took.
our government.
Now we have 320 million people in this country. Let's just say 150 million of those are working class, or maybe a little more, 160 million. How many of those 160 million does it take to make a difference when you look at 56 men?
It just takes them getting on the same page,
it
and that's a
doesn't.
struggle to get people
Yep.
on the same page.
It does not take that many people.
No.
Yeah.
So there's another one that kind of changing tactics a little bit, but we were watching a lot of stuff that came out about Muslims burning down Christmas trees, tearing them down, and it kind of took us back, because I'm going to say historically, Darren corrected me on that, but
It's just I know people that
I
had
know.
Christmas trees, so
But
that's why I'm
historically, it in the 2x2s.
saying church doctrine.
Yeah. So go search it out. You've heard us on previous podcasts talk about the 2x2s. And Jehovah Witnesses historically banned Christmas trees and Christmas, and there's a lot of similarities and in the doctrine, if you want to call it that.
The rules.
I didn't say this before, but the Jehovah's Witnesses,
Mhm.
they don't recognize
Birthdays.
like anniversaries, birthdays.
I know. Yep.
There's a lot of stuff that
Right.
There's, with every religion, you get all the rules, all the
Mhm.
rules and regulations. We were raised, oh no, we don't have rules. We don't have rules. Guarantee you, we all heard that. You remember hearing that too, Mark?
I remember the only holiday that we really recognized was
Thanksgiving.
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 And I
Ah.
was told that Christ was not born on Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I was like, what? So, like, I just feel like some things were kind of misled
Maybe.
You think?
a little.
Yeah.
We didn't have a Christmas tree, but my grandmother did. So I would go down and decorate that tree.
Yeah.
And we bought Christmas. I remember buying Christmas presents for the cousins and the uncles
yeah.
and stuff. But
Even after Everett came? You sinners.
oh, we're bad sinners.
Yeah.
That was my favorite time of the year.
Me too.
Don't take it away from me.
Me
Do you
too.
remember? Do you remember Everett saying, "Oh, you can't listen to radio"?
No, because I had one.
Oh, we were in trouble. We couldn't. We got them probably for some Christmas present, since Steve and I had the same one, a little one that would mount on our bike, but it had a CB radio on it also, because that was when CB radios were big, and we could put them on our bikes, but we were not supposed to listen to the radio.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
That
being up
just
there on
blows my mind because I don't remember.
even
that.
Claudia.
Oh,
even
that-
Claudia. That was
that's
not a good
wild.
thing.
Isn't that funny? Because I was raised, and I've talked to my sister about this, is that she doesn't see it quite the same way, but everybody's, sees stuff differently, even in the same family. So is that we had my older brother and sister, they had music blaring in the house, and my younger sister and I had music blaring in the house, and mom allowed it. And but I hear stories of like Darren, who it's not allowed unless it was just country music.
Well, we didn't know. We didn't listen to country music.
Oh, you
If we-
didn't listen to
No, we
oh,
did.
okay.
If we'd like go to Spokane and mom would go in the shopping mall or whatever, then us kids would sit in the car. We'd listen, and it was okay. And there
That's-
came a time when we actually when that softened a little bit. My folks, at least, they recognized that there were some things that they needed to change a little bit. Some of the hardcore, stupid rules.
So was this
So they
like
softened.
a divide between the East and West?
The Flanagan
was
Creek
just-
and the
like
Palouse.
Viola, and then your area over here, East West.
Well, no, you guys were favorite children being on Flanagan Creek.
What? I didn't feel like the favorite child.
Well, wasn't that a lot to do with, like you guys have talked about Claudia and what was the other one?
Everett.
Everett. See, he was never in our field, so we didn't have that. Or he never stayed at our house because my dad died when I was 4. So we didn't have men workers come to our house. And most of the time when I was young, we had women workers, and they would, saw a young widow. My mom was 34 when my dad died.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
they saw a young widow they could control. And they
Huh.
tried, but
It didn't work.
it somewhat it did. My younger sister talks about that, how that somewhat it did. And I agree somewhat, but she was actually a little bit of a rebel.
Your
She-
mom.
She let us do, maybe not a rebel by,
You guys got to decorate the light pole rather than a Christmas tree.
Yeah, but she let us decorate the light pole. So in the house. So
Don't want the neighbors
yeah.
to see.
So anything else really quick before we move on?
It just blows my mind that you couldn't listen to the radio.
That's
know.
funny.
That just blows my mind because we could.
Well, I know, but when there
Like,
were
my
5,
mom had a boom box, and she had headphones, and that's what she would listen to at night. So that's how I got out of my bed, and went and bothered my brother.
well, I have a feeling too that it depended on the homes, because like won't say the name, but one of the prominent families over in Moscow, they were able to play sports, whereas so some of the family members, because I remember your brother talking about your dad laying down the law when we had five church meetings a night or a week going on, that your dad pulled the plug and was like, no, we're not doing that, because he had work to do. And
yeah,
so
we had Wednesday night, and then you had Friday
Friday
night,
night,
and then
Sunday.
you had twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there was another night that it was like either Tuesday
Yeah.
or Thursday. I can't remember.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
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 So that may have been, it may have
Give
been
this to her for her elbow.
I'm fine.
probably making, so it may have had to do with your family just wasn't quite as righteous.
My family
maybe.
was a rebel.
Yes, they were.
So
I think it was a lot because I remember as a child I was like, "Do we have to go again?" Because it was like I think in Kendrick or something. So
Yeah,
like
the-
Viola, you have to drive
yeah.
the top of the hill and down into Kendrick,
Yeah,
and then you get home at 10 o'clock at night.
yeah. You look at where we live.
And you guys live farther
Yeah,
than
it was
we
an
did.
hour. It was at least an hour everywhere as we went
So
to
I
go
think
to
it was
church.
just the so much.
hmm So that's where I think the difference was. Some of the parents laid down the law differently.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably.
Then-
And some were more cautious and
Yeah.
maybe just didn't want to disappoint,
Mm-mm.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So
I think it's fair.
so Darren,
So
is Everett still alive?
Mhm.
I have no
I
idea.
don't think so, is he? I don't think
I
so.
don't
I know
have any
Claudia
idea.
is, but I don't know about Everett.
Maybe he is, but I think
I don't
he's
know.
got Alzheimer's or something.
Oh,
So at Christmas, I mentioned when we started that Darren and I went to Arizona, and before we left, I don't know, 2 months ago, maybe in October, something like that, we bought tickets to Turning
Oh, yeah.
Point USA. It was going to be December 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. Well, we flew out on the 17th, and my older sister had been in the hospital and then had been moved over to a rehab facility in Arizona,
Health rehab,
health
not
rehab.
drug.
Right. And so we decided when we got off the plane to go by and see her, and we did, and she seemed fine, except for she was a little shaky. And then we went and got our Turning Point USA badges.
Pre-registered.
And we got our badges. We're like, we're ready to go. Well, on Thursday morning, my sister's pounding on our bedroom door at her house, my younger sister, and Kathy's in the hospital. She was found unresponsive, and we didn't know if she was going to live. So we spent 2 days, Trish and I did, in the hospital, trying to see if mom was going to, or not mom, got mom on the mind. In fact, the nursing, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. So they, we just weren't sure. So anyway, but we didn't get 1 day of Turning Point USA, not 1 day. But the one thing that we did like about Turning Point is that they talk about that disagreement is not hate. And that's what Charlie Kirk stood for.
hmm
You could disagree and not hate each other, but quite often the people who on the left hate if somebody disagrees with them. They
Sure.
just hate you. Well, that shouldn't be, and that's not how Turning Point believes. They don't believe that you should hate. You can disagree and still not hate each other. And the second speaker off the bat at Turning Point was Ben Shapiro. And I've not really been a huge fan of Ben Shapiro ever, but I listen to him occasionally, but most of the time I'm not. I don't listen to him. But he was invited, and it was so inappropriate. What he did is he started out bashing Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly. He said he was going to deplatform them. It was just so inappropriate.
Even though he's the one losing 10,000 followers a week.
Yeah, he's losing 10,000 followers a week, which is understandable based on what he did there. It started out an event that should have been unifying and made it all about being division, right?
Divided.
And that's what the deep state wants to do, is they want to fracture MAGA. And you made John, you made a comment before we started, is that Ben Shapiro's really not MAGA.
No. So the way I feel about all this is that just like in the Senate and the House, certain things have come up to allow people to show their true colors.
Rhinos.
Yep. And that way you get to see your playing field, if you
Mhm.
will. And I kind of feel that way about this with TPUSA, is there's going to be people there that they're not part of MAGA or they're not part of the right. Well, they're not.
The rhinos.
Let me
Yeah.
put it this. I mean, I'll go even deeper than that because I see it differently than probably most, kind of like Darren sees the faith part of this differently than most. I see it as a constitutional thing rather than a left or right thing. Because you can be on the left and still be constitutional. You can still love your country and kind of still be part. The one that really has amazed me is Fetterman.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, I would
He's-
agree.
He's kind of come out to be more on the right, if you
Mhm.
will. More MAGA than Ben Shapiro by a long shot.
Oh, yeah. I would agree.
So I think it's just an opportunity for people to show their true colors.
I no, I agree with you 100%. I would not.
And I do think it's
Yeah.
totally, absolutely inappropriate.
It was really
I
inappropriate.
didn't listen to it. I didn't see it, but
Charlie's focus was trying to bring people together.
Right.
he would
And for-
purposefully he would purposefully hand the opposition a mic because he wanted to hear their perspective.
Wanted to have a dialogue
Yeah.
with them.
Absolutely.
So this was just so inappropriate because we heard some people saying, "Oh, Ben Shapiro this, Ben Shapiro that. He said this at the event," and so we went in and listened to it, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, you should not have done that." I probably would have been one of the I probably would have got booted out. Probably would have been one of the people booing instead of cheering because it was inappropriate.
I think it all comes down to and we plan on doing a different podcast on the whole Israel thing, but I think that's what it comes down to is the people who are supportive of Israel love Ben Shapiro, those who are starting to see the corruption of Israel, the state of Israel, not the people. We're not talking about the people, but the state of Israel.
Yep.
That we're going more towards the Megyn Kellys and the Tucker Carlsons and the Candace Owens. We're seeing that.
Betty Johnson.
Yeah, we're seeing
Mhm.
that a little different, and so I think that is a big divide that is going to, whether we like it or not, it is coming, and it is going to affect the mega crowd, the conservative movement. It's
it
going
just
to
showed that that Ben Shapiro is a rhino. That's really what it did.
It did.
He showed himself.
But it also showed by how many people were cheering him, how many people are supportive of that cause.
Yeah.
I don't think they're seeing the distinction between the state of Israel
Right.
and the Israelite
Yeah.
or the Israel people.
So anyway, I think we've got a good podcast coming up in regards to that. but
Yeah. So we won't
stay
cover that
tuned.
here because
We'll try to
that's-
get off of it in a hurry.
So
Easy to go down that rabbit hole.
yeah, we've
It
got
is.
like 20 minutes left. So so I'm trying to keep us on track.
Sonny's the
luck.
organized one.
It's a good thing. If it was just you and me, we'd just sit here and
rabbit holes,
Rabbit hole.
shiny thing, chasing shiny things.
3 hours later, we're still talking.
So according to Jasmine Crockett on
Boy, that's another real piece of work.
isn't it though? On December 25th, again, I don't know if it had been pre-recorded or what, but she revealed that the Democrats are trying to plan another government shutdown in January this month. We'll see.
Control,
Yep.
manipulation, control,
Yep.
manipulation.
We shall
Share the
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah.
So
Let's.
I'm just going to throw this out there, and I may be completely wrong. And if I am, I'm more than happy to admit it. But here's what I see between now and November. We're going to see a lot more shootings. We're going to see stuff happening in the House and the Senate. They're going to try to throw everything out. What is that saying? Throw a bunch of spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
So this is another one of those things that's another piece of spaghetti in my mind.
No,
But it's
I
going to
agree.
get Western this year.
It is going to get really ugly. And we thought it was ugly in 2025.
No, we haven't seen nothing yet.
I don't think so either. But Charlie Kirk, I think we all agreed in a previous podcast is that they thought MAGA would stand up and fight if they killed Charlie Kirk. And they thought they could have
Revolutionary War type
yeah,
thing.
they thought they could
Or
have
Civil
a war.
War, I mean. Sorry.
Yeah, they thought they could have another just civil war. And we don't do that. So
They will. MAGA will stand up and fight if it gets to a certain point.
yeah, well,
We're not there yet, but
No, we're not there.
I have a feeling that it could
possibly, yeah.
it could possibly
It could
easily
possibly,
get
but I think we don't let them push us
there. Right.
to that extent. I mean, we fight in other ways. We don't fight physically out there with guns and knives and stuff. We fight in different ways.
Right.
But we have found our voice. And thank you for coming on because one more voice is important.
Yep.
Every time we can, maybe we reach somebody that knows you and somebody who knows, John. And so we're hoping, somebody that just to have a conversation.
Yeah. Well, those of us that are in on the, MAGA, I guess is probably the right word to use. And have been keeping track of all of this since 2016 is the military is the only way.
Mm-hmm.
So in the separation of powers, the executive branch can be corrupted, which we both know, or we all three know, all four of us know that it has been corrupted. The House and the Senate can be corrupted, but there's the one thing that stands alone, and it was designed on purpose this way, and that's the military.
Mm-hmm.
So if it all comes down to it, when we're talking about saving the republic, the military really is the only way.
Right. And with that, this past week is that the Supreme Court handed that to Trump.
Yes.
Is that military can be used in certain circumstances. So right now they cannot take into, is it Portland, I think?
Probably.
They're fighting because they
National Guard.
National Guard.
Oh, Chicago
Yeah.
too.
So they didn't want them there, but they've also said the Supreme Court came and said in certain circumstances, and just as you said, John, is that this next year it's going to get ugly. And that's when, if it gets to that point where it's in every state or just about every state, that's when the military can step in.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're pushing us to that because that's all they have left.
Yeah.
That's all the deep state have left is fighting.
And so there's a difference between when you can use the regular military inside the United States
Mm-hmm.
and when you can use the National Guard
Right.
inside the United States.
So,
And so those thresholds still haven't been completely met.
right. So we'll see what happens on that.
And just while we're talking about, you brought up the Supreme Court, John Gorsuch came and said there was
I don't think it's John, is it?
Gorsuch. He's a Supreme Court judge.
Is his first name John?
I think so.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway, he came the other day and he was in an interview and he said that, speaking of corrupt courts, he was admitting that the lower courts in this country are administrative courts. In other words, they're not constitutional. So that's the difference between legal and lawful. Legal is admiralty, and lawful is constitutional.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And so that was pretty amazing. That
Neil
Neil
Gorsuch.
Gorsuch. There you go.
I'm like,
yeah,
John's not right.
I know it. I know it. But anyway, that was pretty amazing that we were able to hear a sitting Supreme Court judge come right out in an interview
Good.
and actually acknowledge that. So that
That's
takes all these
great.
lower court judges and puts them on notice. And there again, that goes back to Marbury versus Madison.
Right.
All laws contrary to the Constitution are null and void.
That's great.
So
I think that's where it's going to change from where the military can actually step in, is because the deep state has nothing left to fight except for
the only thing they have is war now.
the only thing I have left is war, and
Yep.
and even if they do it internally, and so those of us who have been awake for the past 4 or 5 years or longer,
2008.
so is
And not counting at all.
yeah. So those of us who have been truly awake and seeing stuff
Just saying.
happening, so and who have been watching stuff, we can see all this stuff that's happening, and we can see all these changes that are happening. Where somebody who just woke up is like, "Well, nothing's happening." Well, it has. You just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So, but they will see it. They will see
So
more.
you have to understand that just like over the last 70 years or 80 years, that all of this has been building since 1933 is when the biggest changes took place. Since the central bank came into existence, which is the third one, by the way,
I know.
is it's been a real gradual progression over the last 70 years, 75 years. So to take 4 years of a presidency and then skip 4 years and then working on another 4 years to unwind
Right.
all of that
All of that.
it's just almost unfathomable, really.
It really is. And how much he's already done in 11 months.
Yeah.
A lot.
But
A
I
lot.
don't really see it being complete until the early 30s. Like 2030, 2032.
And that could be. I mean, we're close.
There's a
Yeah,
plan.
but there's so many wins right now
That's true.
that he's done.
Yeah.
People don't.
8 wars.
Yeah.
He's
stopped.
taken 8 wars and stopped them.
Right.
And he don't put up with anything. That's
Right.
what I love about him.
I
He
know it.
just, this is how it is. If you don't like it, there's the door.
Yeah. Don't let it hit you in the rear end on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else really quick? Because we're running out of time. But, so, really, anything
Well,
else?
Just going back to Charlie Kirk's assassination, I
Okay.
mean, we all know there's a lot that does not add up.
Right. That was my next topic anyway. But,
And the
yeah.
whole Ben Shapiro thing is just another one of those things that it just doesn't add up.
Right.
No.
Other than it just shows him to be a rhino.
So we watched this podcast. Well, it was on Facebook. Aaron and I did. And it was on Facebook, and it talked about Charlie Kirk's assassination and a movie. And it said, is it a
Oh, yeah.
coincidence?
Snake Eyes.
Yes. 1998 movie Snake Eyes. Was his assassination a coincidence, or was it patterned after that 1998 movie Snake Eyes?
100%.
So many coincidences.
But
Coincidences.
we didn't, neither one of us had seen it before. So we went and rented it and watched it with the thought in mind, is that a coincidence? And just one after another. Tyler,
Tyler the assassin.
yeah, Tyler the Assassin. And
The
there-
September 10th
September 10th,
was on the little reader board.
right? And number 7,
Number 7,
there was,
there was a distraction.
yeah.
Somebody
See,
in the
and
crowd.
I
the
haven't seen
distraction.
this movie,
Yeah,
but
and-
me watching The Assassin on the television, I was like, wow, for some people that are supposed to protect Charlie, if anything happens, they were just standing there.
Yeah, his security team
His security
Ne-
team never moved.
never flinched hardly.
No.
No. And then
And it's like, that's kind of weird, isn't it? What
Yeah.
kind of security
Yeah.
team do you have?
I don't even think he was completely off the property. And that one guy came up behind and put a chair up, that camera that was up
They
over
were
the top of
taking
him. They were taking that down.
they were taking out the little camera. What are
Little
those things?
chip, the little
Chips.
card.
Yeah.
The cartridge.
Do you have a $20 bill, Darren?
Nope, not on me.
Okay.
So, and then it also talks about, I know what you're getting at, is the politician was shot in the neck, and Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
We all know, not with a 30-06. There's no way.
Those of us that hunt, we don't know nothing at all. You know.
I
at all.
I don't hunt, and I know I've seen enough of the stuff of people who do hunt who have showed there's no way.
Yeah.
It would have blown his head off.
Yep.
So anyway, but
Well,
and then
that's
it's
some.
all about money. It was about money in the
Yep.
movie. It was about defense contracts, getting money, and we all know there's been talk, and don't necessarily have to say who it was, but
All roads lead to
podcaster.
Israel, always.
Always.
And, is that it's about money. There's about money. And the Rothschild family has the most wealthy family in the world, and they control the money.
Yeah. So it's black. The Rothschilds, BlackRock,
Mhm.
Vanguard. BlackRock is going around. They're buying, and Vanguard both. They're buying up all the empty homes here in the United States.
Like
The
'Cause-
fire sale homes,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
California,
California, Hawaii.
Yep.
the
Wanting to
flooded
build.
stuff in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So and then they had an all CNI. That was stuff in the movie. So if you haven't seen, I really would recommend you go watch Snake Eyes. It's not that it was such an incredible movie. It was a good movie. And don't get
Kind
me
of hard
wrong.
to follow. Kind of
But-
hard for me to
but-
follow, but
But
All seeing eye.
yeah, all
Yeah.
CNI, and but if you haven't seen Snake Eyes, go watch it. It's worth it to see the
parallels.
parallels, right? So we'll put the link in there, the one that we saw. Like I said, all these links that we put in there.
So let me see if I can get to it real quick. Because this ties right into kind of what we're talking
Okay.
about. But when you're talking about let's see.
All right. While you look for that, I'm going to move on. We'll come back to it, okay? The 23-year-old YouTube journalist, Nick Shirley, exposed in one day the $110 million in daycare fraud in Minnesota. And at first, the mainstream media was not covering it at all. Not at all. Didn't want to touch it. But now they're trying to discredit Nick Shirley. But he
That's
went
where all
around.
of us little nobodies are starting to see what the corruption wants us not to see.
Mhm.
But it's getting blatant enough to where we can no longer ignore it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he went around to all these daycare centers and all these autism places, and where's the kids?
Yeah.
What happened to?
Oops.
And they have numbers on the side of their building. I seen on one deal, kid's
Numbers,
like,
phone numbers.
there's a phone number right there. Call it. Nobody answers.
Oh,
Oh, what a riot!
Yeah. So
That's
they're like,
crazy.
what's going on?
that's funny. So
That
did
is
you
funny.
find what you were
I
looking for?
did.
Okay, go ahead.
I did, and it actually goes a lot deeper, but it actually is going to make a lot of sense. So, more than one reason why I'm saying this is I want y'all to go and watch these movies, but I want you to watch them through a different lens. So, The Matrix,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually a documentary. It's not a sci-fi movie. It is a documentary. Mark my words.
Oh,
A Bug's Life,
so it is a movie.
it is
but-
a movie, but
but-
it's a documentary.
Mhm,
If you watch A Bug's Life
telling.
through a different lens, through
mhm.
how we see it, A Bug's Life is how the elite see the American people. And that doesn't actually go to just the American people, that goes to the people of the world. Wag the Dog,
Mm.
it's actually a really old movie,
Yeah, I wrote
but-
president, right?
is how the mainstream media works. If you want to see the behind the scenes corruption of the mainstream media, watch Wag the Dog. Alice in Wonderland is our financial system. There's a point in there where it goes from black and white to color. Black and white was the original intent. And it changed it over to the maritime financial system that we're in now.
Oh, gotcha.
The Truman Show
Oh, that was
is how they monitor
See
us. We have cameras in our computers. We have cameras in our phones. We have
Phones?
cameras in our new TVs. Some of our refrigerators have cameras.
Everything.
Everything has
So-
cameras.
Yeah. So that's how they monitor. That's how they want to monitor us. Going back to The Simpsons, there are shows that predict what's going to happen in the future. And what was it that we were just talking about?
the Snake Eyes.
The Snake Eyes movie. Sometimes it's movies like Snake Eyes that predict on what they're going to do next. The Hunger Games series and the Divergent. I'm really divergent, by the way. Series.
Hunger Games all the way.
Yeah.
That movie
And-
is
oh,
intense.
What's that one other game that where they're running around those
The Maze.
the maze? There's like 2 or 3 of the Maze series too.
So go watch those movies
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
and if you have to back this up to go look and see what movies that John was talking about, do it, but go watch them because if you are really wanting to know, just watch it from the eye that we're looking at.
The lens.
the
Yeah,
lens,
if you're wanting to
excuse me,
lift
yeah.
the veil and you're really wanting to learn what's going on,
Mhm.
go watch these movies, please.
And if you want to be protected, the fact of taking on the whole armor is going to become more and
Yep.
more
Yep.
real for everybody because there's
Right.
no way that we can honestly protect ourselves, and because we don't have the ability to completely discern deception because we've all been deceived. We've all followed spiritual leaders that have been corrupt. We've all followed political leaders that have been corrupt. And we
Oh.
don't have the complete ability to discern.
Yep.
So we only have like a minute and a half left. So just really quick is the Somalis in Minnesota. There's been so much corruption over there. And one thing that has been found, I think Elon Musk retweeted this on X, is that there's fake medical centers. And the Somalis have fraudulently diagnosing their children with autism to steal millions of taxpayer dollars through Medicaid. And they have bought all these homes. Now that's not in the link that I had, but they bought all these homes, and there's nobody living there.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these vacant homes.
Yeah.
That is scary. And they're collecting money for Medicaid for like these autism children. There's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ridiculous.
So
So.
really quick, in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily talking about the Somalis, but the Eastern Indians.
Mm-hmm.
They come into Canada. They give them a brand new truck and trailer and give them a CDL, and they're driving in and out of our country, not being able to speak English most of the time.
Wow, very nice.
They're doing it here too, though,
But aren't they pulling them over now and checking on
They
them?
are to a
And if-
degree,
but not. They
but
haven't.
not as much as they should be.
No.
They'd be
And some
stopping them
blue
at the border.
states won't do it. They don't want to do it.
No.
So it's mostly red states that are actually finding it.
Mm-hmm. I see it in Lewiston. I've driven
Really?
by.
Even though-
Oh, you bet.
Red
I've driven by
state.
the. Yeah, absolutely. We live in an awesome state.
Yes, we do.
Not Washington.
Just give us time to move there. All of the Washingtonians and the Californians.
Aren't they trying to
to
move
move
all
there.
like Idaho over more?
Yeah,
we
into-
covered that in the
that.
Yeah,
podcast,
we
but
did.
You'll
it's
be
probably
there
not going to
someday.
happen. Yeah, we wish.
We wish.
Fortunately, we're not too far, so we can at least come get your cheap gas.
But it was brought up to me by an Arizona senator that I know that we're going to have on a future podcast. By the
That's
way.
awesome. I'm really looking forward to that too.
So
by the way,
is don't say that's never going to happen.
Right.
Just say that not too likely, but we need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but that's about all that we have time for. We just ran out of time. So anything else you guys want to cover really quick in the next
Yeah.
30 seconds?
No, I
No,
don't
I'm
think so.
good.
I think we've done good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just
Sweat
thanks.
away.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I appreciate
yes,
y'all.
thank you all for watching, and
And what is it we try to end our podcast with?
I'll have to look.
keep
I
it
can't-
real, keep it authentic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
keep
think
it
that's
real.
right.
Yeah, I think
that's
that's
right.
right. Yeah,
Yep.
keep it
Yeah.
real. Let's keep it real, keep it authentic.
Yeah.
So love
Absolutely.
you guys.
Yep.
Like, share, comment.
Yes,
Comment.
please.
Yeah.
To increase our algorithm, we'll have this on Facebook, on YouTube, and
X.
on X. And we're working towards
Rumble.
Rumble,
Mhm.
but we haven't quite gotten there yet. That's our next trying to get there.
Our next
but
step.
Yeah, next step, as well as trying to learn this system. So
Thanks
Anyway.
again.
Yeah. Thank you.
all right, thank you all.
Bye.